Hey guys, if you guys watched the last episode of the Mini Cooper build series, you guys probably saw me use these weird looking exhaust hanger removal plier tool. And then I thought showing you guys more tools like that I have around the garage would be a fun video to make. So today I'm going to shamelessly participate in the worst of the social media fueled consumerism by showing you guys 5 cheap tools that I bet you didn't even know you needed. If you're a car guy on a budget like I am, you're probably pretty familiar with rattle cans. And if you're working especially on an older car, you better be pretty good with a rattle can paint because you'll want to refinish all sorts of things like brake calipers, body panels, wheels, valve covers, plastic trims, so on and so on. But using a rattle can also kind of suck, so here's a tool that can take your painting skills to the next level. So this is a trigger attachment tool that fits on almost any rattle spray can. I've actually never encountered one that doesn't fit. And this turns any rattle can into a spray gun. And this thing is so good that since discovering it, I never spray paint anything without it. This thing is like $7 on Amazon, and I'll provide a link below for all the products in the description so that you can support the channel if you would like. So now, why is this tool so helpful? Well, I think it's for several reasons. One, if you ever try to go through more than a few cans of paint in the same session, you'll start to feel the strain on your index finger, which makes you more clumsy or impatient, which is a big no-no in painting. And if you already have shaky hands or have arthritis, rattle can painting probably really sucks for you, and this attachment really helps with all of that. This also keeps your finger away from the nozzle so you don't accidentally spray your finger and spray blotches onto the surface. And you never have to worry about exactly where the nozzle is pointing. I think it's also easier to control and angle the can as I need to with this attachment. So spend the $7. You won't regret it the next time you have to paint. So next up is the screwdriver magnetizer. And I'm always surprised by how many people don't know this thing exists. If you want a magnetic screwdriver set, you don't have to buy a whole new set. You can just turn any screwdriver into a magnetic tool with this thing. And let me show you how it works, because it's really simple. So here's a screwdriver that is not magnetic, and like most of the screwdrivers that I own, I have no idea where it came from. It just ended up in my toolbox somehow. Anyway, it's a perfectly good screwdriver, but it's not magnetic, as you can see here. So instead of spending $40 to buy a magnetic tip screwdriver set that will eventually lose magnetism over time anyway, this is a $10 tool that can work on all your screwdrivers that you already own. All you have to do is insert the screwdriver tip and give it some swipes with the tool, and after that, I think you'll be amazed by how strong of a magnet your screwdriver becomes. And even if you already have a magnetic tipped screwdriver set, they can become slowly demagnetized over time, or maybe it's just not very strong, so you can use this to recharge them, so to speak, or make them even stronger. And you can also demagnetize any screwdriver if you need to, using this other hole right here. By the way, if you're enjoying the content, consider giving me a like or subscribe. So magnetic screwdrivers are awesome if you don't want to be dropping screws constantly, but what if you drop a bolt or a nut into the engine bay, or the screwdriver itself? No matter how careful I am, I seem to drop something at least once a job into the black hole abyss of an engine bay, seemingly never to be seen again. But here's a tool that can help you to retrieve that. It's a magnetic pickup tool, kind of like a fishing rod. This thing comes in all different kinds of sizes and lengths, but you really only need one. It extends out so that you can pick up metal fasteners or tools from wherever your hands can't fit. And sometimes I don't even see the thing that I dropped, but I just stick this thing into the hole that I dropped it in, rummage it around, and sometimes I just get lucky. These are an absolute must-have if you're working in the engine bay. Like most car guys, I occasionally have to mess with electrical stuff once in a while, and like most car guys, it's not something that I really enjoy doing, but sometimes you just gotta solder in a new fuel injection harness or install some new speakers. And when I needed to solder, I used to use this thing. And it's really powerful, but it's corded and it's big and heavy. It's not really ideal for working on cars where most of the wires are really thin anyway, and you don't really want to be tethered to a wall by a cord. So here's a far more portable and easily maneuverable option. This is a butane-powered soldering iron, and it doubles as a small torch if you need it to be, for heat shrink wrapping or lighting your cigarette. You can of course refill it with a butane can, and it's really convenient because you can use it anywhere, anytime, in whatever position that you like. Here's some footage of me working on a Datsun 280Z fuel harness with this thing, and it worked really well without my hands getting tired after hours of tedious soldering. Now, I don't use this thing much either now, because if you have a little extra budget, then you can go for this thing, and this is now my go-to soldering tool. Milwaukee makes this little M12 cordless soldering iron, which works really well, and no, this does not fit the theme of the video, because who wants to spend $90 on a soldering iron, but if you do work on electrical stuff a lot on cars, this is definitely worth it. It's so good that it's completely replaced my corded welding gun all around the house. And it heats up surprisingly quick, it's far lighter and smaller, and of course it's cordless. But either the butane option or the battery powered soldering iron are great options for automotive mechanics. Alright, this one does definitely fit the theme of cheap tools, and it's this floor cleaner attachment for a pressure washer. Now, if you're a homeowner or a avid detailer, you probably already have a pressure washer, so now you can attach this floor cleaning tool to it to clean concrete. I made a video about it already, cleaning my garage floor with it, and I got completely roasted by people asking, why the hell am I cleaning my garage floor so meticulously? Well, if you actually work on cars, you would definitely know that oil stains, grease stains, tire marks, brake dust, overspray paint dust, and blood, sometimes, doesn't come off with a floor brush and a dustpan alone, and you kind of want your floor as pristine as possible if you roll around the garage floor on your back as much as we do. Well, here's something that you can actually use to keep your concrete garage floor as clean as possible if you're not lucky enough to have epoxied floors. No more hard scrubbing, and with an aid of a mild floor cleaner chemical, you can get pretty great results just by walking around with this thing like a vacuum. Alright, so that's it for me today. If any of the products caught your eye and you want to support the channel, all the product links are in the description, and if you enjoy the content, just give me a like or subscribe. Until next time, be nice to each other and take care.